I talk very little about foreign military policy. Only two countries will be on my plate. They're the two that I actually think have more to do with domestic policy and values. That's Israel and Nigeria, where I'm on record as well. That's it. You're not going to hear any more from me about foreign military policy. Now here is why. 3 reasons gird this decision. Number 1, I, along with every other presidential candidate, don't know enough. I know a decent amount, but I'm certainly not privileged to know nuances of State Department diplomacy. I'm not even close to knowing intricacies of our own defense capabilities, our CIA's knowledge of different countries, different factions within countries, different scenarios should one faction decide to move this way, different scenarios about our allies and their capabilities. Ladies and gentlemen, there is nobody who knows these things well enough to comment to the public. And even to the extent that we do know a lot, we shouldn't be commenting to the public because it endangers American lives. Servicemen might be more jeopardized by any sort of posturing of a political candidate. We should keep mum. Now, the second reason is that most people don't care about foreign policy. That has never animated an election since possibly 1940, okay, where there was intervention or non-intervention sentiment. Ever since then, foreign policy has been a blip on people's decision-making about how they vote. Now, maybe it's a big area for a few people. For even those people, here's reason 3, you're deceived half the time by political candidates. Okay, go back. Who would have figured that our most supreme commander, Dwight Eisenhower, was as steeped in military lore with all his friends around him? He was the guy who took down the military budget in ways we've never seen before, okay? That was de-escalating from Korea when he didn't have to. He even warned against the military-industrial complex. A lot of his friends. You wouldn't have expected that from a candidate, Dwight Eisenhower, nor would you have expected it from his successor, John Kennedy, who actually in 3 short years built up our nuclear arsenal faster than any president. Who would have expected that Jimmy Carter, peace-loving Jimmy Carter, would be the president to sign Presidential Directive 59? PD 59 used our nuclear forces, which had targeted munitions areas, strategic areas in the Soviet Union, and instead decided to target cities, okay, population centers. Who would have thought that his successor, Ronald Reagan, who wanted to build up our defenses, would be the president who got us into fewer conflicts than anyone in our lifetime? And then Bill Clinton, draft dodging, marijuana smoking, Bill Clinton would be the one to involve us in more conflicts than any president in our lifetime. So we get fooled. And thus, it is not worth opining to the larger public. Now, I would, subject to a huge bond put up by media organizations, meet with a reporter, many of them, in the same closed room, no microphones, no distribution of what the candidate says. And I would be candid so long as they are required to be secretive. And literally, There is no publication about policy, or a $20 million bond is forfeited. 20 mil. No publication, only an opinion. He's qualified. He's very qualified. He's unqualified. Okay? That's like the ABF type grades that schools give. That's all that would emanate from the journalist present. That's what I'm prepared to do. I think that should be the stance of any presidential candidate. Not to talk foreign policy specifics with the public. I'm sorry. You can know so much about us. You don't need to go there. Happy to go anywhere else with you. I am Mark Stewart. Thank you for hearing me out.